Hello, everybody. This is Dot, anti-natalist, and as some of you know, I like collecting vintage and antique collectibles. I found this yesterday at an estate sale. It's a very old puppy, probably from the late 40s, and he has a little musical box in the body of the stuffed toy, and if you can hear, it's very faint and it's kind of on its last leg, but it actually still works. So anyway, and he's got a tin eye. It's a metallic eye, and he was pretty dirty actually. So I used some soap suds and gently cleaned him up. And this over here is Snoopy, and his tag says 1968. And I also spruced him up, and I ironed the little bandana. And I love Snoopy. Snoopy was a very fond cartoon image of mine in the day. He was one of my favorite cartoon dogs. So anyway, yeah, that's just a couple of things that I really like to collect. And, some of these things are just don't have any value because they are, so dilapidated with age. Now, this item I was lucky to find online, and it is dated 1888. This is extremely old. This is a calendar. Look at this beautiful min pins, collar and bells, brass bells. So anyway, if you look on the back of the calendar, it is an advertisement for Scott's Emulsion, pure cod liver oil with hypophosphates of lime and soda. It's prescribed by the leading physicians in the United States and many other countries of the world because both the cod liver oil and hypophosphates are the recognized agents in the cure of consumption and its kindred diseases. As they are prepared in Scott's Emulsion, the remedial properties of both are greatly increased, and they are made so palatable in this emulsion that the most delicate stomach does not rebel against it. So, it's pretty much guaranteeing, it says free to any person who suffers from consumption, bronchitis, scrofulous affections, anemia, general debility, coughs, and throat affections, or wasting disease, children or adults. Scott's Emulsion of pure cod liver oil with hypophosphates is a positive cure. So it certainly wasn't a cure, because people have died of all of those diseases and ailments ever since the late 1800s. So I'm sorry, Scott's Emulsion, but your product did not work, and it was not a cure. But, it's so long ago, the company's not in business anymore, and, it's a little bit too late to sue them for false advertising. I want to talk now about the damage that, people do in their lives, and I'm going to refer to parents, progenitors, because they have begat damage over and over and over. If you are a child-free or a childless person, and you did not create any biological children, you did not begat any harm. There's no harm after your body dies from its earthly ailments. So you cannot be held responsible for your own life. You can only be held responsible for what you do in this lifetime. And having children, begatting children, reproduction is guaranteed to cause harm. And all parents know this. With a cradle comes a grave. It's buy one, get one. BOGO, we call that in American stores when they have sales. Buy one, get one. BOGO. So, with a cradle comes a coffin, comes a grave. So, I got a text very late last night from a friend, and her mother is very, very old. Her mother is almost 92 years old, and she had a disconcerting issue last night, and she was taken to the ER. Now, let me give you a little bit of background. She is from a different country originally, and she immigrated to America. And of course, in her day, women, were just, reproductive machines. They were, used for fertility, and they were incubators. So it's nothing of her choice. I'm sure she would never have as many children as she did. She had 8 children. And so she was called, she had some very uncomfortable issue with her throat, some kind of a difficulty swallowing and such. So she was taken, to the hospital. And so it's very ironic, or is it, that no matter how old that you are, you're always going to fear death. Now, I think antinatalists fear death less than natalists. But it's so ironic that natalists who brought children into the world fear death themselves, because they have placed eventual death on their own children. And so when a woman is impregnated, that fetus and that embryo is an eventual corpse. That's all that there is to look at reproduction. The fetuses and the embryos that become babies are eventual corpses, folks. And when you have children, you have passed on so much harm. You have begat harm. So that's the danger. That's the sum of danger that you have caused in your life if you are a parent. Now, many child-free and childless people can, of course, create many, many harms, many damages. But you can't be responsible for the life that you live because your parents brought you into existence. You can't be accountable that, you have like an urge to, drink too much or smoke too much. Those are biologically inflicted harms and addictions. If you have anger issues and, you just want to terrorize and victimize people and harm people or rape women, unfortunately, that's biological. It's not something somebody created. I mean, just like the fact that you are heterosexual or homosexual, you did not chart out to be a certain person any more than, you chose your eye color or your height. So, basically, bringing children into the world, just, it makes a murderer out of every parent. And they knew that their children would eventually become corpses after a life of suffering. And so it's just ironic to me that parents with sometimes the most amount of children are yet fearful of death themselves. Do they even think about their own children's deaths? I'm not really sure. I don't think I can get an honest answer um, out of parents, because they are in denial, and they're deluded. But so danger is a default of existence, and those who begat their unbiological children have placed those children into serious harm's way. And so that danger was inflicted, relatively on purpose. I know that a lot of women do not choose to engage in sex, and I'm sure that my friend's mother did not choose to engage in every sex act that she became pregnant. I'm sure it was her husband's desires. And furthermore, I think that since the women carry the total reproductive burden, I think many women would take precautions if they could. Loretta Lynn, she did a song on the pill. I think it was just titled The Pill. And she had multiple children, I think a set of twins and maybe 4 children, something like that. And she basically attributed the children that she had to her husband's need for, seeking orgasms. And when the pill came out, she was ecstatic. So it was clear that she did not want to have multiple children. As I'm sure that my friend's mom did not want 8 children. It's very taxing on women to carry a child, to nurse the children, to raise the children, and sometimes the bodily damage is permanent. But nevertheless, just being a biological parent, even if a pregnancy was accidental, and even if you found out too late and you couldn't abort, regardless, you are responsible for the harm that your children will go through and the dangers that are inflicted upon them. So you and you alone inflicted those dangers, regardless of if it was intentional or not. Because danger is a default. Harm is a default of reproduction. So thank you for watching this far, and I'm going to put my phone down and turn on this little guy's music box. So I'm going to fade out my video with a little bit of music. And the tune is unrecognizable, but this almost has like a certain a certainty about this music, the way the music is fading in this little stuffed toy, and our bodies and our minds will fade as we age.